These are stories about murder.
Could there be a hidden clue?
Things that are exceptionally alarming.
Like what?
Just alarming things.
Because he's at the bottom of the ocean, every little sound is intensely magnified. He hears animals eating his friends and crewmates.
Oh my God. Instead of scattering ashes, he had simply dumped them in the parking lot. In Germany, before a royal court.
Thought she was Polish.
No, the magician is Polish.
This is 3 Shots In.
And today, we're talking about...
Hi, welcome back to 3 Shots In. I'm Jess.
I'm Jake. This is episode 17 of season 4, where we're talking all about fashion, baby.
Fashion.
Wow.
Paris. Milan.
Tyra Banks.
Yes, very good, Jake.
Thank you. Thank you. I think she was a model or something.
Well, yeah. Model, actress.
Who was the Chaste or You Stay Chasse Away?
Sachet?
Yeah. Was that Tyra Banks?
No, that was RuPaul.
Oh, they look close enough.
That's true.
I thought they were I thought that was the same person. I thought that was like the Tyra Banks show.
No.
Didn't Tyra Banks have her own show, or wasn't she like the host of some?
The Tyra Banks show?
No. Like a modeling show.
Yeah, that was America's Next Top Model.
Oh, I always forget that one exists. I thought that was Project Runway. But it's Project Runway when they're like making clothes?
They're designing fashion, whereas Project Runway is they're trying to like groom models, but not in the sex way, in the other way.
A different kind of groom.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you all for joining us on this amazing podcast that everyone loves.
Yes. Thank you guys for being here.
Even bigger thanks to those of you who love us even more than the average person.
Our patrons.
Our patrons. They're so amazing.
You guys are awesome. You make us throb with love and warm platonic feelings.
Throb? We going with throb today?
That's what your heart does, right?
Oh, that's right.
It goes oonce, oonce, and it throbs.
Okay.
It puts, blood throughout your body.
Yeah. No, their hearts are just busting with love.
Yes.
I love it. Yeah, no, thank you guys. You guys are the best. We have recently put out the 3-Shot Cinema for Barbarian.
We did.
And there's a much little bonus content there. So maybe you should go check it out. And if you can't check it out because you're not a patron, well, then maybe just become a patron.
Just become a patron.
You can do that too.
You've been wanting to for a while anyway.
Yeah, just pull the trigger. Do it.
You've been thinking to yourself, I don't know, what have they really got going on there? Literally, it would take $5 for you to find out. And I guarantee you'll be surprised with what you find. Meaning, I don't think you have anticipated how many episodes of 3-Shot Cinema there are at this point.
There's quite a few.
Quite a few.
Yeah, there's quite a few there.
Yeah.
Shots tonight, El Jimador again.
Oh, yeah. It's a classic. We quite enjoy it.
The staple, really. Mm-hmm. That was one of the first liquors that we were downing.
The very first, actually.
Beginning
very
of the
first
podcast.
Episode. Mm-hmm. You were very resistant this time to having lime wedge chasers.
I wasn't resistant.
You were very resistant.
I wasn't resistant. You were like, where are my limes? I need to go get limes.
I offered to go and get them first, and then you gave me shit about it.
You said, why didn't you get limes?
Well, yeah, why wouldn't you?
What the fuck? I didn't even know we were going to shoot tequila.
Yeah, I know, but then the moment you found out, you didn't just go do that.
Why did it take you fucking 30 minutes to put makeup on?
It didn't. It took me like 15.
Put all that makeup on to look like a fucking horse.
It was like 15.
Whatever. Drinks. What are you drinking, Jess?
Well, I have here what looks like maybe 6 ounces of water left in my 24-ounce water bottle.
Oh, good for you. Wow,
it's going to need a refill soon.
Uh-huh.
And then I have about a little less than half of my big protein shake.
You have a milkshake?
No, it's not a milkshake. There's no milk in it. No? There's oat milk, though.
Is it? So it's like a smoothie?
Yes, from my favorite place, Smoothie King.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well,
But I do plan on drinking something different. I'm not going to have any more of this smoothie because I'm full. And then the water I'll refill so that I don't get super silly drunk.
Yeah.
But then I would really like to have perhaps another Di-Serona or maybe a dirty little Corona.
Oh, a dirty little slutty Corona.
Slutty Corona with a little
that.
tequila. That's when you put tequila inside Corona.
Yeah, and
I don't know
like,
if you guys knew about that. I didn't know about that.
you like flip the bottle so that it like infuses.
You put a little like lime in there, lime juice.
Yeah, just a little bit. No, it's pretty good. I'm drinking me some Busch Light. You know, everyone is hating on Anheuser-Busch right now.
Hating on the Busch right now.
Because, you know, Bud Light did that commercial that really wasn't received well. And because of that, their value has dropped like $7 billion.
Wow.
No one's buying it. I went to Walmart to pick up some beer. Now, I wasn't looking for any form of like Anheuser-Busch. I was looking for Blue Moon. But I did notice that the Blue Moon, or not the Blue Moon, the Bud Light was
Incredibly discounted.
overly stocked. Like
Yeah.
they had way too much of it. And that's like in the beer aisle never looks like that. It's because no one is touching it, because I guess this commercial really pissed people off. I don't know. I didn't see the commercial.
I still haven't seen it.
I honestly have no idea what's going on. I just know that someone fucked up, I guess.
Now listen.
I don't know if what they did was a fuck up.
I
but the
think
result is a huge fuck up.
I think it was just a silly choice for the people who are the kind of people who are interested in Busch Light. It's obviously a bunch of straight dudes.
Well, it's not Busch Light. Bud Light was it was specifically Bud Light. It's just they're all owned by the same company.
Oh, well, I think you know what I mean. I think that it was pretty clear that their target audience was a bunch of straight dudes who have gutter palates, like meaning the straightest kind.
Oh, did they do like a gay commercial that wasn't received well or
Oh,
something?
I have no idea what's on the commercial. I know what's been on the cans.
Yeah, I have no idea at all. All I heard was that people weren't drinking Bud Light anymore, and I was like, well, I never did, so that's not a big deal for me. I'm not going to start buying it. I'm not going to stop because I never did. And then I saw that their like stock price or whatever, they lost about $7 billion at this point.
Right. Yeah, no, they decided to the best of my knowledge, go a little wayward. They decided to do something a little different than just targeting hetero males. And the hetero males, believe it or not, didn't respond well. So listen, from what I know, I don't think it's that big of a deal, but it also was a really silly choice for them, I think.
Okay.
I think based off of what I saw, like the new like can design, you know, they have a new sort of like sponsor, you know, celebrity appearance of a sort.
Is it like a drag queen?
Yeah, no, it's a trans woman,
Okay.
and they put her.
That's why everyone was pissed off.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's right on the cans,
Okay.
and like looking really feminine, and she's just this skinny trans lady. And I mean, I can only assume she's in the commercials as well. But the kind of men you're trying to appeal to,
Yeah, they missed their targeted audience.
I don't know. Like, do I think the response should be this strong? Not really. But also, do I think you made a really weird, silly mistake? Yeah, I do. Do I think they should be surprised? They're not as popular right now, and they're losing money from that choice. No, I don't think they should.
My opinion of Bud Light remains unswayed. It's dog shit, and I hate it. So I won't drink it anyway.
Right. But yeah, I think it would have been much better received if they had put this trans lady on like White Claw or LaCroix or whatever.
I see.
Yeah.
Or Mike's Hard Lemonade.
Because it's not like she's a trans woman. And like from what I've seen, she tries her best to look like Audrey Hepburn. Weird to put someone who looks like Audrey Hepburn on a can of Bud Light. It's
You know
just
what's funny though?
really weird.
You know what's funny?
What?
If they would have put some like WWE wrestler wearing like a jock strap, or not a jock strap, like the underwear, you know, they have like gold like underwear, and that's all they have on.
A Speedo?
A Speedo. There you go.
Yeah.
If they would have put like some bulked dude sweating in a Speedo,
Yeah.
that would have, I'm assuming that would have sold a lot more.
On a Bud Light?
On a Bud Light.
It definitely would have. Because I know what you're implying. Like
Yeah.
if you put a half naked man on there with like his fucking six pack and like his lats for days.
Yeah.
They'd have been
And his
like, oh,
digitally
fuck,
enhanced bulge.
yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. And they would have guzzled that down, no problem. But that's just it. They would have, no problem.
Yeah.
But I don't know. With Bud Light, you're targeting some dudes that what they want is to feel their masculinity enhanced. And that's not going to work with someone who looks like Audrey Hepburn transitioned from being a male on their cans. Like, it's just not going to work.
I see. Well, thank you for that update.
You're welcome.
I'm going to count that as our updates because that was kind of longer than I thought that would be. So, well, we'll spin then. Spin it. I'm going to let you spin it today.
I always spin first.
Then fuck you.
This is equal rights. I'm all about equality. You go ahead and you spin. That's what I meant by that.
Thanks.
Just so you know.
No, thanks. I
want you to
appreciate
feel
that.
like you're valued as much as I am.
I'm probably more valued than you are.
Okay.
Has nothing to do with what you're thinking. So it's
Sure,
just
sure.
because I'm better in every way.
Maybe they should put you on the Bud Light can.
I would sell Bud Light.
You think so?
Oh, I would sell Bud Light. You know what? Here's how we'll try it. I will be on the Coors Light cans.
Okay.
I think I'll sell Coors Light for sure.
Cool.
Thanks. Anyway, you are a fashion designer. Who is modeling your clothes down the runway? So you designed, I don't know.
Well, you spin.
Well,
Span.
We're about to be in summer. So it's a summer edition.
Well, we're in spring right now, though.
Yeah, but they would be modeling for summer clothes
Why would they be doing that?
so that everyone buys these clothes for summer. I don't really know how modeling runways work.
Neither do I.
So that's what I'm assuming.
Okay.
Anyway, that's what we're assuming. You're doing summer clothing. So showing a lot of skin,
Like, okay.
Maybe you're doing some swimsuit modeling.
That's what the men are wearing, you think?
Oh, they're wearing shorts and little sandals, maybe like a tank top. Like they're showing more skin than they would in the winter, Jess. That's what I mean.
I just don't know what I'm elaborating. I want to make sure that we're clear.
Who's modeling your clothes? I already got mine.
Okay, go ahead.
The cast of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
They're modeling your clothes.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, 3 of them are actually really fit, right? And so they would, look more like models than the other 2. Uh-huh. But the other 2, not as fit.
Are you
specifically
do you
Dani
mean
DeVito?
Dani DeVito, yeah.
Yeah. But no, even the minor characters, bring them all in. Why not? I think that'd be a fun time.
A fun little show.
Yeah, especially if like the cat lady looked like the cat lady and Cricket, was all fucked up. Uh-huh. That'd be fun.
Okay. All right. So you mean they'd be in character for the fashion show?
Yes, they'd have to be in character.
Okay. I think I would like my clothing designs, my summer clothing designs, I guess, to be worn by, I don't know, the modern day cast of the original Ghostbusters.
So Bill Murray,
Yeah.
I can't name any of the other people. Sigourney Weaver. Sigourney Weaver was in it.
Yeah.
She's modeling for you?
She's there too.
Is she doing karate really slowly?
No, she doesn't have to do that.
No?
No, not in the Ghostbusters.
Okay.
She's just there to be pretty in the Ghostbusters.
Oh, she wasn't doing slow karate like in the Defenders.
No need.
Okay.
Yeah. Also the ghosts are there.
Oh, you got like the
The librarian and the Slimer.
the Stay Puffed Marshmallow
Stay
Man.
Puffed Marshmallow Man is there. Yes. All of them. The sexy ghost that goes down on Dan Aykroyd.
Apparently, I don't remember Ghostbusters at all.
You don't see it. It's implied. It's because they're exhausted from working all the time. And so he has a sex dream about a ghost. So he wakes up or it looks like a ghost is about to give him a blowjob because you see his belt get undone and then it goes up to his face and he goes cross-eyed. But then you see that he's sleeping. So he's just imagining a sexy ghost gives him a good time.
It's confession time, Jessica.
Oh.
I don't think I've ever watched Ghostbusters.
Considering how devoid of happiness and any value for something that's nostalgic or well done or well loved, you kind of just are as a person, I don't think you would enjoy it now.
Wow.
What?
That was mean.
No,
for
it wasn't.
one.
It was true.
No, I think Dad tried to get us to watch it as kids, and I was just too young that I just did not care for it. And so I just never had the I need to watch Ghostbusters. I've never actually seen it, I don't think.
I think you'd enjoy it, if you were not the kind of person who hates things that are good.
I'm not that kind of person.
You are.
I don't hate things that are good. I like all things that are awesome.
Do you like macaroni and cheese?
I like macaroni and cheese, Jessica. I don't like Kraft macaroni and cheese.
You don't like any macaroni and cheese unless it's the kind that is made really fancily and slowly.
Well, yeah, you gotta you got to make a roux and your noodles.
Yeah, exactly.
And
so yes, exactly.
mix it all in and you got to bake it.
Yeah.
That's the best mac and cheese.
Do you like peanut butter?
Not really. No.
I don't think so. What about hot dogs, Jacob?
I don't know how to answer that one. I feel like I'm going to be attacked no matter what I say.
Yeah.
You look like the 4th of July.
Makes me want a hot dog real bad.
Okay, well, I mean, we answered the question. It was a terrible question. Awful. I don't know who came up with that.
Yeah, that was a really, really stupid question.
Stupid wheel.
Awful.
Just dumb. Some horse came up with it.
It wasn't me. It sounds like that's what you're suggesting.
No.
It wasn't me.
No, I don't suggest things.
Anyway.
Yeah?
Who should go first?
It's me. It's my turn.
Why? You went first last time.
I didn't go first last time. You went first last time. And I have it written down as proof.
I know.
So shut your mouth.
But you easily could have foiled that.
Maybe. Maybe not.
Or soiled it even.
Soiled it? No. That's not what happened.
But you could have.
Sure. I could have. Because I'm the scribe and you're not. You don't know what's happening where. Okay?
What? Mm-hmm. That doesn't make any sense.
Jessica, it's time for my tale.
Fine.
My fashion tale. So, for this story, we're going all the way back.
To?
November of 2021. So, like, really not long ago at all. Okay. So, January of 2021, fashion designer Talisa Nunes Dorado, she was 27.
Okay.
Decided to move from Sao Paulo, where she was born. This is in Brazil. Mm-hmm. Okay. Moved from Sao Paulo, where she studied fashion, where she worked in fashion, you know. And she was going to live with her mom and her, like, in the same area as her mom and her grandmother. Her family had moved during the, like, beginning of the pandemic to Paraty.
Okay.
Like Paraty. Paraty.
Alrighty.
Okay, this is on the Costa Verde of Rio de Janeiro.
The Green Coast.
Of Rio. They say it's like of Rio, but it's like 250 kilometers away from Rio. So I don't know how close that actually is.
Okay. Well, maybe Rio de Janeiro isn't Rio de Janeiro the capital of Brazil?
I think Sao Paulo is the capital.
Is the capital?
Rio, I think, is the biggest city.
Okay.
I could be wrong, though. I don't fucking know.
Maybe it's a district as well or something.
This was all translated from Portuguese to English. And that's where I got my notes from. So some things might sound weird.
Okay.
But, you know, just roll with it.
Alrighty.
So this city, Paraty, had a pretty small but pretty big, about 50,000 people. And her family, Talisa, had sought like a quiet life. They knew it was safe here. You know, it wasn't a big place with danger and murder because Brazil has like one of the highest rates of murder in the world.
We talked about that during the live, actually.
We did. In 2018, there was like almost, I think, 56,000 plus homicides.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
Crazy.
It is. I think it was. I read a thing once that the number of murders in Brazil are more than all of like the U.S. and Europe combined.
Whoa.
Or something. That might be an exaggeration, but it was something crazy like that.
Okay.
Like Brazil's got a lot of murder going down.
Okay.
Not that we necessarily have murder here, though. So, anyway, 11 months later after moving, Talisa was found dead.
Oh no.
That's right. So, listen, I'm not going to tell you how she was found dead yet.
Okay.
We will get there because I want you to hear the story first. Okay.
Okay.
So, Talisa, she studied fashion at the European Institute of Design in city I can't pronounce, Sao Paulo.
Okay.
She actually did a course completion in Paris, right?
Course completion?
Like she studied abroad for fashion
stuff. I mean,
stuff
it was, yeah.
In Paris. And since then, she had become like very specialized. She worked as a stylist for famous Brazilian brands. She was she worked for Ricardo Almeida, which means nothing to us, but that's like a huge fashion name in Brazil.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the Brazilians listening are like, oh my God, what? You know?
Ricardo?
What? Yeah, Ricardo. Anyway, they participated in market research development. She made many pilot pieces and prototypes of clothes that she launched into like other brands. She was big. Like she was
so super big deal.
She was kind of a big deal in the fashion world in Brazil. And in addition to having a very prominent career in fashion. She was also very detail oriented. Her schedule was never off. Everything was organized.
Like a
right?
Punctual person.
Very punctual.
She showed up at the time she said she was going to.
While also being one of the most creative people that a lot of people said she's the most creative person they've ever met, blah, blah, blah. And they were all so surprised to find out that she was dead. Now, before, again, we get into the death, we're going to keep going into a little more background. So after she resigned from the company she was working at and she moved to Parody, she began working by teaching language classes. So maybe she was teaching French or English or whatever to the people in Brazil who speak Portuguese mainly. She continued working on like an old project. She actually created her own brand called Alba,
Okay.
which is unisex clothing, which I think is like really in right now. But her thing stood out as it was very ecological, sustainable, and affordable.
Nice.
So she's trying to do her part in the world.
Sure.
Now, a graphic designer named Stefani Monsu said that him and Talissa had shared an apartment for 2 years in 2016, and that she became like his younger sister, part of the family. She was spontaneous, impulsive, which doesn't add up to what other people were saying
That
in her work.
she was very planned, precise, punctual, all that stuff.
So we're unsure, right?
Okay.
We haven't talked to her family yet, as we've learned. Okay, we'll get there. So apparently she was very talented, and everyone was kind of like thinking she was gonna do great things one day, not, die.
Thank you.
So we are going to talk about the crime or death now. She was found, okay, her roommate that she lived with in Parody, they all went out drinking, and at about 11 p.m., she left the bar, went home. Her roommate got home later than her, went to sleep, not thinking anything. Next morning, though, about 10 a.m., she hadn't seen Talissa yet. So the roommate, Vivian, went upstairs to check on Talissa, and she found her with a plastic bag wrapped around her face and her hands tied behind her back.
So obviously murdered. I guess almost obviously. Someone could have done that to themselves, I guess.
It was ruled a suicide.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, it was ruled a suicide.
Whoa, that surprises me.
Now, the reason why is because they had obviously talked to friends and family.
Yeah.
And the friends knew that she kind of had some mental health stuff going on. Her family knew that she was depressed.
Okay.
And she had apparently suicide attempts in the past. So it wouldn't be shocking.
If she had succeeded.
Right?
Okay.
Seems kind of like a difficult way to suicide, though. Plastic bag around your head.
It's
and
not.
your hands chained behind your back.
It's not
tied.
It's not typical, but it's possible, I guess, if you really want to look at it that way. I don't see, that wouldn't be my first thought. It would be a possibility, but that wouldn't be the first thing I would think.
Well, that's what it was ruled before the investigation was officially launched.
Is that how it works in Brazil? They just
I don't know.
decide what happened?
Well, I think it was ruled that before an investigation was even considered being opened.
But why
'Cause you don't
open
need-
an
you don't need
investigation
to-
at all?
Well, I'm saying you don't need to open an investigation if there's a suicide, but you do if you think there may have been a murder and they got more information, which is why an investigation was open. We'll get into that.
Okay.
So the friends that Talissa was with while out drinking had explained to police, I guess later on, that she had injured herself at the bar, and they had to kind of patch her up. So I'm assuming she fell on the dance floor
she
or
fell
something.
or tripped or something.
And so maybe she was bleeding a little bit, bruised up, whatever. They patched her up and she left. And like I said, after failing to come downstairs, they found that she was dead upstairs.
Yeah.
Now, medics said that she had been dead for several hours, that she must have died somewhere between midnight and 3 in the morning. Where things start to get a little weird.
I mean, the method in which she chose to commit suicide was pretty weird.
Right.
Allegedly.
So I guess they hadn't done an autopsy yet because this wasn't ruled a murder yet.
Okay.
Police checked CCTV footage and saw that several people did some questionable things that night and were taken into custody. Apparently,
after they watched the CCTV
yes,
TV footage.
Apparently, images and video showed some people following her outside of the bar when she left, following her home, having conversations with her outside of the bar that they had claimed never happened.
All right.
So things aren't really adding up, which is why many people are being, not arrested, but brought in for questioning. But they really didn't have a solid suspect. There wasn't a person to point out. Obviously, the roommate kind of was probably their number one suspect because she lived there.
Right.
So maybe she killed her. I don't know. Now, they finally got the autopsy done. Where did I put the autopsy? Here we go. So the autopsy reported that this could definitely have not been a suicide. This was a violent death, as they called it, caused by pulmonary congestion through mechanical asphyxia.
Mechanical?
Like an object.
So they found something in her throat?
It's not like she choked. It's like a bag was over her head, which, as we knew.
Yeah.
But the bag was held.
I see.
So clearly someone did this. Now, there were no signs of a break-in. There were no problems with the doors, locks. The windows were all fine. Nothing was going on. So now their one main suspect, looks pretty bad.
The roommate.
Looks pretty damning.
Okay.
Sorry, I got to find where I put that part. It's
taking a long time.
I mixed my notes up into like a bunch of different like PDFs.
Why?
Because I'm retarded. I don't know.
Why do you do it like that?
Because normally I'm fine. Anyway, so investigators, I guess they have more research on this now. This case is still it hasn't even gone to trial yet. So there's not a whole bunch of information out.
When did you say this happened again?
This happened November of 2021.
2021. Okay. I mean, yeah.
And in March of 2022, Vivian Tibertino, the roommate, was in fact arrested. They said that they have probable cause. Mind you, this is paraphrasing because they word things very differently.
Yeah.
In Brazil, but probable cause, her being the only suspect at this point that could have done this.
But do they have any evidence at all that it could have been her besides the fact that she lives there?
I believe so.
They just haven't stated as much.
Because apparently the request for, and I don't know what this means, but preventative detention, I'm assuming that means kind of like maybe like a bail.
Preventative makes it sound, I don't know, my thought was like, does she have an alibi or something?
She doesn't.
I know, but in America, you wouldn't necessarily need one.
Well, CCTV footage shows Talissa leaving the bar at like 11 and Vivian leaving the bar at like 11:30. Both of them going home.
To where they live. No one else entering the home or even walking around their home. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so a judge denied her bail and they had her passport and her phone collected and apparently was held on like judicial authorization.
She can't leave the country or even her area.
The judge won't even let her go out on bail.
She's in prison right now. Well, jail.
Yes, she is in a Brazilian jail. Now, I'm assuming Brazilian law is similar enough to the U.S., right? Obviously, there's going to be some things different.
Of course.
But similar enough that arrested in March of 2022. We're only about a year after that now. Mm-hmm. I would assume that the trial would be between now and the next 6 months.
Okay.
So I have a Google alert on my phone for this when it goes to trial so that we can get more updates as it goes. But I thought that was fucking wild that not that some girl was murdered, especially in Brazil, right?
Okay.
But that specific murder was ruled a suicide for like too long of a time.
I don't know.
Why did they rule it a suicide before they did an autopsy? Before they checked CCTV footage?
I think that's weird.
They just jumped the gun on it.
But I don't know, like different countries will have different protocols. Like maybe they need to have like a first theory to go on before they evaluate, and then the evaluation begins. That's kind of how that sounded.
But if you see someone with their hands tied behind their back and a plastic bag wrapped around their head, you think, oh, this could have been a suicide.
No, I'm with you on that. Like I said as much, but devil's advocate, she could have. Like if they hadn't done the autopsy, and I mean, I wouldn't know what those signs would look like, but there hadn't been signs that someone did it to her. She didn't do it to herself. That is something you can do to yourself. Yeah, sure, you could. But like, did you ever see that movie? I don't remember what it was. What it was called, but it was the star of House of Cards, the guy who got fired because he was a creep.
Kevin Spacey?
Really good actor. Yeah. So Kevin Spacey, and then the blonde from Ozarks, the wife, Jason Bateman's wife.
Oh, yes. It was that movie about like how they thought the death penalty was bullshit.
They thought the death penalty was bullshit, and they were like advocates against it, and they did a lot of like peaceful protests and had all this like legal knowledge, and I think they were both attorneys, but I'm not positive. Anyway, she dies in the movie because she kills herself by tying her hands behind her back, and like she had this method, she thought of this way to
I think it was similar. I think
make it look like she was framing
I think like duct taped plastic bag over her head.
something. She was able to do it herself somehow.
Yeah.
And then she set up a tripod camera so that they could release the footage after
he was sentenced to death.
he was sentenced.
After he was, the
Kevin
death sentence
Spacey
was followed through.
Yeah, after Kevin Spacey had died, that was when they had programmed the footage to be released because he insisted she had killed herself. He's like, no, she did it to herself. I was there. I watched it. And they couldn't, I don't know, they had all this proof that like the two of them had argued, and he was like, well, we're friends. Friends have fights. And they were like, didn't you guys, well, there were signs that you had sex. And he's like, well, yeah, we had sex before she died. But you were in the house. Yes, I was in the house. That kind of thing. Like, it was just like it was a big demonstration, and they both decided they were going to literally die on that hill, that the death penalty was fucked up, and that it was too severe to be that, like, there was no way it was right every time, and they were killing a bunch of innocent people, basically. I honestly thought it was way too overdramatic, and
it's kind of a lot.
It was kind of silly, but it was kind of cool. Yeah, like, it was an interesting story, and obviously the acting was great. But yeah, that is exactly how she killed herself. She was completely naked, and they had sex right before they did it. So they like implied he had raped her or something. And she put a plastic bag over her head and zip tied her hands behind her back or something like that, so that she couldn't stop it. And she suffocated on camera that way. And he was nowhere near. Like, she definitely did it to herself. So based off of that fictional movie that is based off of something that didn't happen.
Yeah.
I know that someone could possibly do that to themselves.
You could possibly do it to yourself, sure.
Yeah.
But she didn't. And I wouldn't think, no one would, that movie's a perfect example. They saw her with a bag over her head and her hands tied behind her back, and they assumed murder immediately.
Well, that's why I thought the movie was so stupid.
You know what? Maybe the lead investigator had just watched that movie. And he's like, I know what this is.
Right.
I know what this is.
It's just a demonstration, obviously.
These kids reenacting these movies.
Yeah. That's why I thought the movie was so dumb. Like, literally, why would you kill yourself specifically in this way in order to make it look like someone else did it?
It's because their whole thing, if I recall, was they wanted to get rid of the death penalty by proving that the death penalty can cause an innocent man to die.
Well, yeah.
And they proved it.
They both worked together to frame him.
Yeah, they also set it up that way.
They worked together to frame Kevin Spacey, and Kevin Spacey worked to frame himself.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you're right. If you really, really manipulate all forms of evidence.
And if I recall too, like he voided all appeals and like tried to like bum rush his death sentence.
He just wanted to die.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to make
And the reporter girl had the evidence. She couldn't save him.
Yeah.
I don't know who reporter girl was. I don't remember.
Neither do I.
Like Susan Sarandon or someone.
I don't know. I don't think so, but.
You don't think it was Susan Sarandon?
I don't think it was Susan Sarandon, but I know what you mean. I do think it was someone whose face I would recognize immediately. And
well, I'm pulling it up right now.
do you remember what it was called, the movie?
I don't, but I know it was either early 2000s or late 90s.
So you're going to look through Kevin Spacey's filmography?
Of course. The Life of David Gale.
That sounds right.
That's definitely it. Kate Winslet. Kate Winslet was the reporter. Mm-hmm. Yes. But yeah, Laura Linney was the one who suicided herself in the name of justice.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think I'd watch the movie again.
No, like I said, the acting was really good.
I don't think I'd watch
But
it.
I just thought it was really dumb. The point of it. The point was dumb.
You know, I also don't think I like Kate Winslet.
I have no issues at all with Kate Winslet. I really enjoy Kate Winslet,
No,
actually.
something about her. I just don't like her.
I really like her a lot.
Like, I don't hate her, you know? Like, I hate Hugh Must Not Be Named.
Who's that? Hugh must not be named.
That's not a person.
I was trying to make a little dad joke.
Fool. You're a fool. So,
Do you mean Tobey Maguire?
ew. Yes, that's who I'm talking about. I hate him. I don't hate her. I just don't like her, you know?
I just don't know why. She's got such a sweet face and she's
I don't know.
got
Maybe
such a sweet voice.
Maybe it's because she did Titanic, and I think Titanic is like arguably the most overhyped movie ever made.
No, I actually agree. I liked the movie. I did. But I do think it's just weirdly
Boring. So boring. So not good.
It's
The romance doesn't make sense at all. Why?
romance doesn't
Why
make
did they
sense?
Why did they have a door? Why did they have a door floating that two people could have easily floated on?
maybe it wasn't easy. Leonardo DiCaprio tries to get on it and she starts falling off because it believe it or not, even though it's wide, it's still thin enough that it can only hold one person.
Whatever.
He tried to get on it.
Whatever. Lame. And then she has, you know, this big old jewel, and she's all like, "Oh, I'm remarried and have kids and grandkids now, but I still love you, little poor boy." And she throws it in the water. Lame. Super lame. Movie's way overhyped and so long.
Yes.
So the only good thing about that movie was the band playing when the ship was sinking. That was the only cool part.
Sure.
Everything else was lame and terrible.
Whatever. I remember enjoying the movie. I haven't seen it in, God.
And
it's
why
been so long.
did James Cameron pay for a submarine to take him down to look at the original Titanic at the bottom of the ocean?
You can say whatever the fuck you want about James Cameron and his choices, but he made so much money and continues to make money off of that movie.
Of course.
Say whatever you want about the decisions he made. It paid off.
He made Avatar 2, Jessica.
It paid off, Jacob.
Why did he make Avatar 2?
Look, I don't know.
Why is Avatar 3, 4, 5 already in pre-production?
No, stop.
Yes,
No.
Jessica. Yes.
Oh God.
Why did they decide to bring Sigourney Weaver back to play fucking
The tree.
Jake Sully's children?
What?
Yeah, she plays a child.
No.
I saw behind the scenes pictures of like these, because I guess him and his other blue girl, they have 3 kids together when the movie takes place.
The one
And-
who's played by Zoe Saldana.
Yeah.
Okay.
And 2 of the kids, you know, are played by kids, but one of the kids is played by Sigourney Weaver.
That's weird.
It's weird as shit. Why?
I don't know. All I'm
Lame.
saying is
Hate
that say whatever you want about the choices he makes. He made a lot of money off the Titanic specifically. Like Avatar is something else. Sure, he made a ton of money off that.
Lame.
But the Titanic, was a huge deal when it came out, and it remained a huge deal for a really long time.
Whatever. Also, why is like the Titanic Museum, right? The Museum of the Titanic. Where would you assume that would be?
Not Arkansas or Missouri. I think it's in Missouri.
It's not.
There is one in Missouri.
It's in Tennessee.
There's one in Missouri.
But why is the Titanic Museum in fucking Tennessee? It was nowhere near. It's not even near the ocean.
Why is there more than one nowhere near the ocean?
It should be in fucking like Maine, right? That's like the closest you could get to where the Titanic fucking crashed in the United States.
I have no clue.
Of course you don't.
There's a Titanic replica in Missouri.
Why?
It is a Titanic museum. They have artifacts there. I don't know.
Why?
Why?
So stupid. I hate it. I'm going to go on break.
Oh, you are?
I am.
Okay. Well,
What are
I
you
guess
gonna do?
We'll just hang out here without you.
Good.
What did you guys think about the Titanic?
Ew, don't ask their opinions.
All right. Well, we'll see you when we get back.
I had an idea.
Oh, what is it?
So obviously our podcast is going to blow up and become like the biggest thing ever, like bigger than Joe Rogan.
Of course.
And when it does, we'll have so much more time
Sure.
to do other things like other podcasts. And I have an idea for a podcast that I would do because I wouldn't put this on you.
Okay.
So here's what it would involve. I would wake up every day at like 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, at least Monday through Friday. Wake up at 4:30 in the morning. Then I go and I read all of the top stories right now, news-wise. All of them.
Okay.
Okay. Then I record a 10-minute podcast summing up all of the current events.
Okay.
And it's posted same day by 6 a.m.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
This way people can listen to it when they're driving to work.
For 10 minutes.
Just a quick 10-minute thing.
Yeah.
They listen to it while they're driving to work. And now they know all the current events for when their coworkers are asking them like, hey, did you hear about the school that had a clown, I don't know,
Come in and murder everybody?
rape a professor or something?
Okay.
You know, something crazy.
Yeah.
Like now they'll know and they'll be able to talk about it.
That's your idea? What would you call it?
I don't know.
Jake's Takes?
I thought about Jake's Takes, but I'm not putting my opinion in it. It's not Jake's Takes.
Okay. Jake's Regurgitates?
No. No. Title in progress.
TBD.
Yeah.
TBD.
But that was my idea. I thought it'd be fun.
Okay.
Or at least like really lame.
Would you record them the night before? Because I don't see you waking up at 5 a.m.
No, I'd have to wake up at 4:30 in the morning. Be done recording this by 5:30.
Okay.
That way I can really quickly edit it and post it at 6.
I mean, you could definitely do that. All right.
Yeah. It's going to be cool.
Tight.
Jake on the scene. No.
But you're not on the scene.
Water cooler. Even cooler.
You
I don't
could
know.
call it toilet talk.
It's not toilet talk. You
But
don't flush
realistically, where would you be recording is all I'm saying. Probably the bathroom.
it. Probably in my giant recording studio in my mansion that I'll have.
But you don't have one of those right now.
Not right now. I said when the podcast takes off and we're obviously going to be bigger than Joe Rogan.
Okay.
Joe Rogan makes millions of dollars a year. I would have a mansion.
Oh, this is when that's happening?
Yeah.
The 10-minute thing you could easily be doing now?
Fuck you. Easily doing now. I'm not waking up at 4:30 and then going to work.
I didn't imagine you would be.
No. After I'm done recording, I'm going back to sleep.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's the only way this is sustainable. I wonder how many times I'll be like still drunk from the night before.
I feel like your set for these recordings
Yeah.
would look a lot like the background of like people who complain about comic books turned into productions. It'd just be a lot of like Funko Pop collections on the background shelves and stuff.
No. See, I thought that my set would look like a newsroom.
Okay.
Like I'm sitting behind a thing, you know, like definitely not wearing pants. And I have like pieces of paper that I keep like fixing, you know, I'm like,
Meaning like it's not even zoomed in so you only see your upper body?
Yeah.
We see what's
There's a
going
table.
on under the desk too. And you're not wearing pants?
I will never be wearing pants. That's my trick.
That's your hook.
Yep.
Okay.
That's how I bring them in.
All right.
Bring in the viewers.
Fashion,
Gosh,
clothes.
fucking models, like runways and catwalks.
Yep.
Tyra Banks. Where does Tyra Banks bank? She's got a bank somewhere because she's got a lot of money that she definitely uses to buy premium products.
She does have a lot of money to spend, and I bet she's the kind of person who would only spend it on things that are of quality and that bring her joy. One or the other, maybe even both.
Can you think of a type of product that could do all of that?
You know, I can think of someone who makes products just like that.
Who?
Our sponsors! That's right. Tilted Tinker, Woodcraft, and Wizardry. We'd like to thank Tilted Tinker, Woodcraft, and Wizardry. They are a company that makes woodcraft products.
Like plaques with all sorts of hilarious sayings and coasters with sarcastic twists.
All of that dry humor is mixed in with Dungeons and Dragons accessories like dice towers, dice dungeons, and DM screens.
Everything is made here in the USA.
Yes, a family-owned business. They use American wood in American hands.
Nice.
They personally create all of their merchandise.
Yes, they are close friends of ours, but that's the most that we'll say. It could be anyone, but they're fantastic.
They are fantastic, and it really could be anyone at all. We own many of their products.
That's true. All of them are of great quality.
The greatest. You can visit their website at tiltedtinker.com. Reach out to them at info@tiltedtinker.com. They are Tilted Tinker on all their social medias.
That's Tilted, Tinker. You should go and buy something from their website because they're awesome.
And they love us, just like we love you. So we got an email a really long time ago, and by that I mean January.
Oh, months ago.
Like, yeah, a while ago.
Okay.
And,
you just now found it in your junk or something?
No. I received it and read it onto one of our Instagram lives. And it was because Hanso had sent it. I had mentioned that our viewers, our listeners, really enjoy hearing from him, and that I would love to, just get something from him in our email and read it to them in our Instagram lives to reward them for showing up there. Spice it up a little bit, and it's super funny, because it's Hanso.
Yeah,
He's
I love
just
Hanso.
so charming. Mm-hmm. So he did. He sent it, and it was as charming as I expected. And he has a sharp wit, but the memory retention of someone 4 times his age. So he somehow doesn't recall at all that I told him I was going to be reading that into an Instagram live and not an episode. And he's been bugging me like just nagging constantly about why he hasn't heard it in an episode yet.
Okay.
And acting like I betrayed him in some way for not reading the words he wanted me to read. So I've decided that I'm just going to cave and read them into this episode now, into the break.
Do it.
Well, here we go. The email is anonymous, of course.
You just said it was from Hanso.
I know.
Okay.
He does sign it at the end.
Okay.
It says, "Dear, quote unquote, horse and jerk of 3 shits crap pod crap.
Clever.
Your podcast is bad, and you should feel bad. Your show should be marketed as a laxative. I have sat through foreign movies without subtitles that were far more enjoyable than your little clown show."
Whoa.
He says, "Yeah, it's so cute that you guys are an edgy brother and sister combo. Did your parents have any kids that lived?" And that's in all caps.
Lived?
Yeah, I don't understand.
All of them.
I think he meant to say, "Did your parents have any kids they loved?"
Oh.
I'm not positive, but
Yeah, I can't be sure about that one.
not sure. And he said, "It's like Dani and Marie Osmond wading through the waters of retarded subject matter. Jake should put a saddle on Jess and ride her into the mountains and never bother anyone ever again. In closing, fuck you. Love, Hanso."
Love Hanso.
Yeah,
Wow.
I know. My favorite was...
I'm surprised that he was able to type so many words. I thought he'd be out of breath halfway in there,
he probably was. If he had said it, I bet you he would have had to stop for a break many times.
Yeah. Because I think the last time I saw him, that was the last time I saw him. Homie was very out of breath.
Oh, well, that was actually because he has... You know how there's Superman and his weakness is kryptonite?
Yeah.
Well, there's Hanso, and his weakness is hills at a very slight incline.
Okay.
So he was staying at the hotel down the street one time, and then he came up to the house, it's a little stroll from the hotel to the house. And then he came in to be a guest on our show. And when I opened the door, he was basically laying on the floor in front of the front door.
That's how I remember it.
And all I heard was just this wheezing. And I looked through the peephole and I didn't see him. And by peephole, I mean really big window, because
You have a giant window on your front door.
There's a huge window on my front door, and I didn't see him. And I was like, weird. I don't remember Hanso being that short. And then I opened the door, and it turned out he was lying down on the ground.
Yeah.
And he was just, exhausted. He was donezo.
If I recall too, for some reason, he was just in fetal position, hugging his case of beer.
He was clutching a 6-pack. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. What a sad man.
He's a wonderful person, an inspiration
No, of course. Yeah.
for continuing through his deficiency.
His oxygen deficiency.
His handicap when it comes to slight inclines.
I believe that if you're below a certain height, you are in fact legally handicapped.
I actually think
And
that's true.
I can't think of anyone that would be above that limit that was a part of the Lollipop Guild.
Right.
I can't think of a single person that was in the Lollipop Guild that would not be that height. And Hanzo was, in fact, there's actually a picture. You can look it up. The Lollipop Guild, that Hanzo is there.
Right. He is. Yeah, there's an autographed photo of that at Bob's Big Boy in Temecula, California.
Yeah. Now he wasn't dancing and singing because like his poor lungs just couldn't take it.
Right.
He was just wheezing too much. So he's just kind of standing off in the back.
Right. There's a little incline to get into the restaurant even, so even just to
He can't even do that.
go in there and have a burger, it's hard on him.
Yeah.
He needs to be wheeled in
Of course.
most places
Yeah.
with any incline at all.
his wife.
She's wheeling
What a
away,
gal.
wheeling him all over the place, up and down and around the town.
That's love right there.
Oh yeah. And I was going to add something else. It probably doesn't matter. We love him.
We love him.
We love him.
That's right. Tiny little Hanzo.
So Jacob,
Yeah.
our dear sweet friends, Ricky and Kendall. Ricky's been a guest on the podcast a few times.
A few times. Yeah.
They had their twin daughters today.
Oh, wow.
Yes, Kendall gave birth to 2 beautiful twin girls today.
Congratulations. It wasn't today. It was yesterday.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. Cause I remember thinking it was on April 13th and I was like, oh man, like I can't wait until these girls are having one of their birthdays on Friday the 13th because it'll happen eventually. And I can go get a tattoo for them, Maybe I'll bring them with me, get them tattoos, matching tattoos.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I wanted to say congratulations to them anyway.
Oh, yeah. No, of course. Big congratulations. They are 2 babies.
You see what I mean?
With
You're
skin
that
and-
kind of person who doesn't like things that are universally loved. Everyone loves babies.
Babies got to ripe, Jess.
You have to ripen, you mean?
Yes. They got to ripen up.
You mean they have to grow
Everyone
and be
was
less wrinkly?
They
and
sent
gain more
pictures into the
weight?
group chat and we're like, "Oh, look at our babies." And everyone was like, "Oh my god, so precious." And, "Oh, I'm literally crying." And I was like, "God damn. These babies need a few months on them."
Shame on you.
I didn't say it. That's why I didn't say anything in the chat.
Shame.
I wasn't going to be that guy, But I'll be that guy on my podcast. I don't give a fuck. We're done breaking. And normally you would spin the wheel, but I'm going to do it for a second time in a row, bitch.
I'm not going to go into any sort of explanation, but I'm pretty sure I won.
You won nothing.
I'm the winner.
You're the winner of nothing. You are the devil that wears Prada. What celebrity do you hire to be your intern that you shit on? Like the movie Meryl Streep
I
is
recall.
the devil.
I've
and
seen-
she hires Anne
Yeah.
Hathaway.
Well, she doesn't actually play the devil. She's
She's the devil who wears Prada.
no. She wears Prada, yeah, but she's not the devil. She's just like a really bitchy dragon lady.
Why would they call the movie that then? You're an idiot. Anyway,
Okay.
Anne Hathaway is her intern that she like degrades and humiliates
Yes,
and treats like total garbage. And I would love to do that to someone.
it would be kind of fun.
Who is it, Jess? You get one celebrity. That's it.
Just trying to think of someone who bothers me a lot.
Oh, they don't even need to bother me.
But I would need to be bothered by them in order to be mean.
I just want someone that I know when I am mean, I will see it on their face.
Okay. I mean, it sounds like you have someone in mind.
James McAvoy.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I don't think he can hide it when he gets upset.
Okay.
I think he will express that. But he'll still do my bidding because I'm the devil and he's my bitch.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
I can send him to Starbucks to get my like weird fancy latte. And like he brings it back and I just know that there's no vanilla in this because I didn't ask for vanilla. But I'm going to tell him that I did ask for vanilla. I'm just going to gaslight the shit out of him.
Okay.
He's going to rethink his whole life.
Okay. All right.
And I'm going to make him give up acting to be my intern, and he'll do it because I'm the devil that is wearing Prada.
Right.
Does Prada have male clothing? Or am I wearing just like a big parka?
No, Prada makes male clothing.
Okay,
for sure.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, they do. I mean, I guess I'm extremely confident that they do. I guess
I don't know.
100%.
Does Coach make male clothing?
Yeah, I think so.
Fucking Gucci?
Yeah, I think so.
I have no idea.
Valentino. I think they all do, as far as I'm concerned. It doesn't matter to me, though. It's not like I'm ever going to wear it.
Well, you're the devil that wears Prada, so you got to be wearing Prada at least.
Well, in this hypothetical scenario, sure. But just, as
Who is it?
me as a person, I will never will.
Who's your intern? Who are you going to destroy verbally and mentally?
Someone who bothers me a lot. Someone,
I will even say they can be any form of celebrity.
meaning like they could even be an athlete.
Even like a fucking D tier celebrity. Someone who was on one season of some reality show. I don't care.
Okay, hold on. I just need to think for a little bit. Trying to visualize all the years of television and movies I've watched and then decide who I'm going to bully.
Well, and in this scenario, they will not turn down this role, this position.
They're desperate for my approval.
Yes.
Yeah.
They want nothing more than to work under you. Mm-hmm. You're taking a long time.
Yes.
Which is why I'm going to add another addendum.
Okay.
You can even resurrect someone.
Oh my God, I can't do that. I can't bully someone who died.
Why not?
I just don't want to. They already died.
So?
I can't think of anyone who annoys me a lot that's already dead. Oh, I got it. Fergie.
You're going to berate Fergie?
Yeah, I'm still upset about...
Her national anthem?
I wasn't going to get specific, but yes.
Her national anthem at the 2021, NBA championship game.
So you and I have this, I think a lot of people do now. It's becoming a cultural thing where we have this ironic love for things that are absolute shit.
Yeah.
Because it's funny to watch them and laugh at them and share in each other's cringe of how bad they are. And I don't even know how many times at this point you and I have rewatched
I was going to say,
anthem.
I have heard her sing the national anthem more than I've heard her singing anything else because I have watched that video so many times. Mm-hmm. I think it's fucking hilarious.
It's nothing personal. I bet she's an absolute gem and she's beautiful. And listen, I what the fuck do I know about talent? So I won't speak to hers. All I know is that one thing, that was all just every choice that was made was poor.
Yeah.
And I don't
she
know.
Looked great, though.
I don't know that she made all of those choices. All I know is that at the end of the day, she sang it.
She did.
Despite all of the choices that had been made. And that makes her responsible for all of them to me.
Yeah. She looked great, right? But oh boy, I feel like every single decision was a poor one.
Yeah. Not every single one. Like you said, she looked fantastic. It's Fergie.
No, as far as the singing went.
Yeah. All of that. The performance was bad.
Every turn was a wrong turn.
Yeah, all of it. It was just, it wasn't.
The best was watching when the camera went to the audience and you see Jimmy Kimmel laughing at her.
Or trying not to.
Or all of the basketball players literally laughing at Fergie singing.
Poor baby. She's not living that down for a long time. But you know what, girl? You earned that one. You're an internet meme for the rest of your life.
Forever.
All of time.
Forever. Yeah. Everyone will forget that you were in the Black Eyed Peas because of this moment.
You're no longer Fergie from the Black Eyed Peas.
Everyone will forget your terrible Super Bowl performance. Do you remember when the fucking Black Eyed Peas were the Super Bowl halftime show?
Honestly, since I'd seen the national anthem, I'd completely forgotten about it.
Yeah. It was so bad.
Oh, man.
It was for adults just screaming and jumping on a stage trying to hype up an audience. It was awful, and she still outdid herself with the national anthem.
Yeah, I just don't, let's move on because I could go on and on about it. Anyway, she's the celebrity I'm shitting on.
Okay, I like that. You can make her cry easily.
I will. Oh, and I will.
I don't know that I can make James McAvoy cry. I can ruin him mentally, but I don't know that'll make him cry. You can definitely make Fergie cry.
I could.
Oh my God. Do you remember she was in the movie, The Shipwreck, fucking Poseidon?
No, I never watched that.
Oh, it was terrible.
Did I? No, I don't think I did.
It was really bad.
I remember the movie that it exists. I just don't think I ever saw it.
Was it Kurt Russell?
Was that the one where Rihanna is in the Navy?
That was Battleship.
Because I remember that being pretty bad.
That was awful. That movie was so bad. The suspense of like them trying to play a battleship game with like aliens, and they're like, fire over here, and they shoot and it's like a miss, and like the aliens are like, pew, and they miss their ship, and oh my god, that movie was terrible. We can go on for a long time. We need to stop. We need to move on.
I know. Okay.
It is your story
It's
now.
time for me to get started. Okay. Oh man. So when we decided, well, I say when you decided that the topic today would be fashion, I immediately thought of murder. I feel like you and I tend to do that.
Yeah.
Not always. This isn't necessarily a true crime podcast. We talk about a lot of things, but true crime, it's mentioned very often.
Oh, it's hot.
Yeah. And it always will be.
Yeah, for sure.
And that brought me to Andrew Cunanan. Andrew Cunanan, the man who murdered Italian fashion designer Gianni Versace.
Versace, that's a big name.
Yes. Still, today. May he rest in peace.
How long ago was this?
This was...
When the
give me a moment.
80s, 90s, 2000s?
It was 90s.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't need an exact year. I was just curious. Anyway.
Well, I have one somewhere for you in my notes. It's going to be difficult for me to find it. So we'll get there. Anyway, Andrew Cunanan was born August 31st, 1969. He was the youngest of 4 kids. His father was a Filipino-American. His mother, a very religious Italian-American, which makes me think Catholic.
Probably.
His father served in the Navy during Vietnam. After leaving the Navy, where he had served as a chief petty officer, Andrew's father worked as a stockbroker. In his youth, Andrew lived with his family in National City and attended Bonita Vista Middle School. So that's in California. In 1981, his father enrolled him in the Bishop's School, an independent day school located in the affluent La Jolla neighborhood of San Diego.
I've heard of La Jolla.
I have also. I have never heard of any independent schools there, but either way.
I'm not well versed.
Yeah, don't know really anything about what schools are there. But either way, at this school, he met his lifelong best friend, Elizabeth Coate. Apparently, as he was growing up and all through his school years, he was remembered as being very bright, a very talkative person. He tested really high in his IQ, I guess. As a teen, he developed a reputation for lying.
Oh.
Yes, so specifically about his family and his personal life. He was adept at changing his appearance according to what he felt was most attractive at a given moment. So he would kind of like get a read for what someone found to be very impressive and would try to emulate that, I guess.
So he's a grifter.
If that's what that means, I guess I don't know what that means.
Google it later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, Andrew had identified as gay in high school. And that is when he began having liaisons with wealthy older men.
Good for him. He had little sugar daddies.
He started pretty early, not necessarily.
Oh, you mean high school?
Not necessarily legally.
Oh, I thought you meant like college school.
That was the impression I got, that it began in high school. Anyway, in high school, he was voted least likely to be forgotten. And boy, was that true.
Oh, yeah.
So after graduating from high school in 1987, he enrolled at the University of California, San Diego. He majored in American history there. In 1988 is when his father deserted his family, moved back to the Philippines.
Oh.
I guess I don't know that he moved back there. I don't know that he lived there originally. But either way, he moved to the Philippines, left his family behind, and from what I could tell, ceased all contact with them in order to evade arrest for embezzlement.
Nice.
Right.
Those are my favorite stockbrokers.
The embezzling kind?
Yeah.
Andrew was 19 when this happened. And that was the same year that Andrew started frequenting local gay clubs and restaurants, basically being more outspoken about his being gay and stuff, making it not so hidden anymore if it was before. And his very religious mother, she didn't care for that.
Makes sense. Sucks, but makes sense.
Yeah, she was not supportive. During an argument with her, I guess Andrew threw her against a wall and dislocated her shoulder with the force.
Okay.
Later on, his behavior was described by, I don't know, medical professionals as seeming that he suffered from antisocial personality disorder, which I guess means that he lacks remorse and empathy. So he's a sociopath.
I was like, this boy is going to be murderous.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. In 1989, Andrew dropped out of UC San Diego and decided to settle in the Castro district of San Francisco, which I guess is a gay sort of like oasis. I don't know. I don't know anything about that area.
I thought San Francisco was just like
just
a
San
gay
Francisco
oasis.
in total. I don't know. I guess the Castro district very specifically is. So he moved there and moved in with his best friend, his friend from grade school earlier, and her boyfriend, whose name was Phil. That doesn't matter, but it is here in my notes.
Sure. Don't forget Phil.
Can't forget him. Anyway, Andrew continued his practice of befriending very wealthy, much older men than him, and reportedly began to do work in violent pornography. Yes, that wasn't elaborated, but I think you can...
Violent pornography?
Specifically violent pornography, so I think you can use your imagination.
Like fucking rape fantasy shit?
Not sure. Sounds like it.
Fuck.
He had a lifestyle of living off of one wealthy man or another, just kind of making his way around, specifically in the Hillcrest and La Jolla neighborhoods of San Diego, as well as Scottsdale, Arizona. He was dealing drugs at this time. I guess that was just like a little side gig. And this included opioids, cocaine, marijuana, of course. And it's unclear when exactly this happened, but it is also likely that he dabbled in prostitution at this time.
Like he was a prostitute?
Yes, a toot.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it kind of sounds like that's what he was doing anyway.
Yeah, but I don't think prostitution and being making your way from sugar daddy to sugar daddy are exactly the same. Because like it is a relationship and it's exclusive. Prostitution, you're being paid for something very specific.
So if I...
Well, it's almost like saying, what's the difference between marriage and prostitution?
If I have sex with someone, right?
Yeah.
I ask them to come have sex with me and I give them $1,000. That's prostitution. But if I give them $1,000 worth of fucking products, is that still prostitution or is that my sugar baby now?
Well, I don't know. I just like I think
it's all the same.
I really don't think so. Because it's almost like, what's the difference between being in like a loveless marriage and prostitution? Like there are no feelings involved, but it's a trade. Like you just want security one way or the other. If you're a male, you want companionship.
So let's just make
typically.
prostitution legal and get rid of all the blurred lines.
Sure. But either way, so it's likely he was doing all that stuff, for income at the time. And he used many different aliases as well. These included Andrew De Silva, Lieutenant Commander Andy Cummings. Yeah, that was one of them.
That's his porn name for sure.
Probably. There was also Drew Cunningham and Kurt Matthew Demaris. So in 1990, Versace was in San Francisco to be recognized for his costume design in the San Francisco Opera. I guess he was part of a production there at that time.
So he could sing too?
No, he designed the costumes for it.
Okay.
And it's alleged that this is when he and Andrew met. Now, in the first episode of the 2018 TV series, The Assassination of Gianni Versace, American Crime Story,
Yes.
Versace and Andrew meet in this like VIP area of a nightclub where Versace's kind of like annoyed with him, but eventually won over by his charm and by Andrew talking about his mom being raised in Italy. Later, he and Versace go on a date
Okay.
at the San Francisco Opera, and they have kind of like an intimate conversation on stage after the show. It's not really, they don't really go into anything after that, so far as I was able to read. However, the show was based on the book Vulgar Favors, Andrew Cunanan, Gianni Versace, and the Largest Failed Manhunt in U.S. History by Vanity Fair writer Maureen Orth. So she reported extensively on Andrew's case after the assassination had happened. It's called assassination a lot. I would just call it a murder, honestly, and I think you'll agree with me when we get further into it.
Okay, I was like, holy shit, did I like blank on the murder?
No.
Okay.
No, it hasn't happened yet,
Okay.
but people really don't know how they knew each other exactly. Because obviously he killed Versace. Obviously he knew where he lived because that's where he died. But how? it doesn't seem like anybody really knows. And in this book, this Vanity Fair writer says that on the night of October 21st, an eyewitness recalls Andrew was smugly pleased that Versace seemed to recognize him. "I know you," Versace said, wagging a finger in the then 21-year-old's direction. "Lago di Como, no?" Seeming to refer to his home on Lake Como.
Okay.
And Andrew replied, "Thank you for remembering, Signor Versace." So other people basically are implying that they met each other a long time ago. Maybe at some kind of event or gathering or party or of some kind.
Or like a meetup
Maybe.
of the sexual nature.
No idea.
Okay.
But to this day, Versace's family denies that they ever even knew each other.
Okay.
That they never met at all. Now, in December 1995, Andrew met someone named David Madsen. He was an architect in Minneapolis, and they developed this long-distance relationship. David ended up calling the relationship off in the spring of 1996, telling friends that there was something shady about Andrew. And he was probably right.
I mean, he's probably right on the money.
But
right?
we'll see.
Okay.
Anyway, Andrew told friends that David was the love of his life. So they were feeling very differently about the relationship when it ended.
Right.
At some point, Andrew had moved on to another exclusive sugar daddy by the name of Norman Blackford, who he'd been living with, and Norman had been financially supporting him. So after he called his relationship off with Norman, Andrew very soon found himself in a financial struggle.
Gotta find a new sugar daddy.
No more sugar daddy. Where's your money coming from? Type of thing. So,
Yeah.
according to a man named Jeff Trail, who was a former naval officer working as a district manager for a propane delivery company in Minneapolis, he was also a very close friend of Andrew's. Andrew decided to return to dealing drugs. Makes sense. I mean,
Sure.
You're in a bind and you've done it before.
There's always money in drugs.
Sure. By April 1997, friends reported that Andrew was abusing painkillers, drinking excessively, and later that month, April 97, he told friends he was leaving San Diego for Minneapolis to, quote, take care of some business matters with this man, Jeff, who had cut off all communication with him. Before Andrew's visit, Jeff told his sister that he did not want Andrew to come to Minneapolis. He said to his roommate that he and Andrew had had a huge falling out. He also said, I made a lot of enemies this weekend. I've got to get out of here. They're going to kill me.
Whoa.
Right? April 24th. Andrew and 4 friends attend this going away party at, a place called California Cuisine in Hillcrest. Andrew did not cover the tab for everybody, which I guess was really rare because that's how much money he just had. He must have had some like elite sugar daddies on.
Oh my God, yeah.
Apparently, Andrew had 2 very high limit credit cards, but both of them had been maxed. So he had to apply for a credit extension in order to just afford the plane ticket to Minneapolis. When he got there, Andrew linked up with his old flame, David Madsen, the architect. Mm-hmm. And David was a mutual friend of his and Jeff's. So he and David went out for dinner that night. They hit the club, and he ended up spending the night there at David's apartment.
Oh.
Uh-huh. April 26th, Andrew goes over to Jeff's house where they have an argument before Jeff decides that he's going to go out of town with his boyfriend, John. They leave Andrew to stay the night there alone in Jeff's place. The following afternoon, Jeff and his boyfriend come back, and he tells his boyfriend that he and Andrew needed to have a very important conversation. He's apparently very grim when he says this.
Okay.
I still have no idea what's going on, and this is never elaborated, by the way. When they return to the apartment, though, there is no sign of Andrew. All of his belongings are gone, and then they get a phone call, and it's from Andrew. Andrew says that he had gone back to David's place. He also lets Jeff know that he found his gun and stole it. I say stole. Every article I said,
he borrowed
just said
it
that
indefinitely.
He took it, and then told Jeff if he wanted it back, he needed to go to David's place to pick it up.
And pay off my credit card.
He definitely didn't ask beforehand. You know, it was basically like, hey, I've got your gun, and if you want it, you need to come get it type of thing. So whatever.
I mean, like, weird.
Odd.
But okay.
Really sounds like something terrible is going to happen to Jeff right now. That's what I was thinking. So Jeff decides he's going to go to David's house. And he does. He arrives there probably like 9:45 that night. On arrival, Andrew beats Jeff to death with a hammer in front of David. On April 29th, one of David's coworkers is concerned that David never showed up for work. So they go to his apartment to check on him, and they discover Jeff's body rolled up in a rug, hidden behind a sofa. Jeff's watch had stopped at 9:55, so they're pretty sure he died very soon after he arrived at David's apartment.
With a hammer?
Yeah. I thought all of that was leading up to him going to shoot him, but instead he used a hammer.
I mean, I thought he was going to shoot him too. And
Right.
then out of nowhere, a hammer joins the situation. Where is David? He can't be alive.
Where'd David go?
He can't be alive.
So, anyway, authorities believe that David remained in the apartment with Jeff for 2 days after Jeff was murdered.
Ew.
Really gross. One neighbor said that they witnessed David and Andrew in the apartment elevator on April 28th. And then another neighbor said that he saw the two of them walking David's dog on the 29th. So that they were there for at least 2 days. Investigators then treated David as a suspect in Jeff's murder because really seems like he's chill with what just happened. That's really all they have to go on. But David's family insisted that he was held hostage by Andrew, that there's no way he was, in fact, chill.
That's what the gun was for.
Maybe. To keep, Andrew compliant.
To keep David.
Keep David compliant. Yes. Sorry, I've got my gay men mixed up.
It happens.
I understand. So, May 2nd, so this is now several days later, David and Andrew were seen north of Minneapolis driving in David's Jeep and eating lunch together in a bar. It's really starting to seem like David's really chill with Jeff dying in front of him by hammer.
Yeah.
The following morning, David's body is found on the east shore of
There we
Rush
go.
Lake, near Rush City, Minnesota, with gunshot wounds to the head and back from a .40 caliber Taurus PT-100 semi-automatic pistol, which is the gun that he stole from Jeff. Andrew stole from Jeff.
It's a cheap gun, by the way.
I wouldn't know. Apparently it works.
I'm sure it works just fine.
So, May 3rd, Andrew drives to Chicago, Illinois, and murders Lee Miglin, a 72-year-old prominent real estate developer.
Lee, no.
He bound Miglin's hands and feet and wrapped his head with duct tape, then stabbed him more than 20 times with a screwdriver, slit his throat with a hacksaw, and then stole his car.
Oh my God.
That seemed pretty personal.
Oh my God.
Wildly brutal way to die. I don't know. Anyway, that happened. Miglin's family maintains that this killing was random, that there's no way Andrew even knew Lee Miglin. But the FBI argues that it is extremely unlikely that he would do all of that with zero motive. And that makes a lot of sense to me because that's intense.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot of rage, it sounds like to me. Anyway, investigators note that Miglin's 1994 green Lexus LS sedan is missing from his garage, and then they find David's red Jeep parked nearby. So that is what told them.
He swapped cars.
He stole the car, yeah. Miglin's Lexus was equipped with a car phone, and I guess the car phone records show was activated May 4th in Union County, Pennsylvania, so Andrew was on the move. Authorities began monitoring the phone's activity. They found that it was also activated May 8th in Philadelphia, and then May 9th near Penns Grove and Kearney Point Township in New Jersey, so he's cruising on eastward. May 9th in Pennsville Township, New Jersey, at Finns Point National Cemetery. Andrew shoots and kills 45-year-old cemetery caretaker William Reese.
What did William do?
Nothing. They're actually very sure that he literally killed him just to steal his red pickup truck.
That sucks.
I know. It's so awful. So when William Reese did not return home for dinner, his wife visited the cemetery just to check up on him, and she found that his office door was wide open and there's a radio playing inside, and she's getting vibes that something not so great happened here. So she calls the cops, and then they find William shot dead from a headshot by the exact same Taurus pistol, by the way, used to murder David. They believe that Andrew, like I said, just murdered William in order to take his 1995 red Chevy pickup.
Wow.
So Andrew uses this truck to get to Florida. May 12th, he gets a room at the Normandy Plaza Hotel in Miami Beach. He pays $29 per night in cash. which I don't know, may have been a pricey hotel room in the
Sounds like a fucking bargain now.
mid 90s.
$29 can't even get you a fucking meth infused motel.
So Andrew decides he's going to lay low.
Probably smart at this point.
He ends up, despite June 12th being listed on the FBI 10 most wanted fugitives list, hiding in plain sight at this plaza for 2 months.
Whoa.
With no one knowing. And he's active. He's going out clubbing and hitting up like the gay community and like entertainment district and like all that stuff.
Well, I mean, are you aware of who is on the FBI's top 10 most wanted right now?
Anyone who watches like those TV programs would notice. It's just wild to me that...
But anyone who watches those programs isn't going clubbing,
I guess,
at night.
But most of them still got found. That's what's so wild to me. Like, even though they didn't go clubbing, they still got found, a lot of them. It's just, I mean, whatever. So successfully, he evaded the authorities for 2 months. Let's see. He ends up leaving the hotel, and around 8:45 a.m., July 15th, 1997, he murders 50-year-old Gianni Versace on the front steps of his mansion in Miami Beach.
Is there a reason why?
Versace was coming home from visiting a cafe that he went to all the time, picked up a few magazines, went back to his house, and Andrew approached him from behind and shot him in the back of the head once, and then after he fell or was on his way to the ground, shot him a second time in his left cheek with the same Taurus pistol. A witness pursued Andrew, but was unable to catch him, but did report to authorities that he fled into a nearby parking garage. Police found William Reese's stolen Chevy pickup in a nearby parking garage, maybe not the same one. I guess they found Andrew's clothes and clippings, newspaper clippings of the reports of his murders inside. On July 23rd, 1997, Andrew's body is found in a luxury houseboat, just a random one, in Miami Beach, after a caretaker of, I guess, the port or pier dock or whatever it was tied up at, reported hearing the gunshot. He had shot himself in the head with the same pistol. His motivation is still completely unknown. They have no idea why he did all this. At the time of the murders, there was extensive speculation in the public and media and stuff linking the crimes to him finding out he was HIV positive. They think he just lost it, went berserk.
That was the snap?
I don't know, maybe. Time magazine, even as recent as 2018, when that TV series came out, wrote an article about him, and they mentioned that authorities believed he was driven to kill former lovers and possibly former clients he believed had given him HIV. But when his autopsy was done, they found he was HIV negative. So, no idea. No clue. So they searched the houseboat where he had died. He didn't leave a suicide note. He really didn't leave a lot of personal belongings. But I guess what they did find that may have been of note, it maybe not. They found multiple tubes of hydrocortisone cream.
Okay.
And a fairly extensive collection of C.S. Lewis books, his fiction.
Like The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe?
Yeah.
Why did he have hydrocortisone cream?
I don't know.
Isn't that to treat burns?
Yeah, rashes or burns or...
skin irritants.
Hydrocortisone, I'm pretty sure, can be treated to used to treat diaper rash.
Why did he have a bunch of a notable amount of it?
A lot of them. I don't know.
Why?
I'm not sure. But anyway, Andrew Cunanan can be found on Wikipedia's list of serial killers in the United States, but his status as a serial killer versus a spree killer
sounds like a spree killer
has been
sure.
disputed. Yeah, so people kind of go back and forth. It does seem like most of them are calling him a spree killer, though.
Yeah, there's no pattern to his killing at all.
Not really. It's so wild and chaotic. It really doesn't seem like it was planned beforehand either.
Now, if everybody got beat with a hammer or stabbed with a screwdriver with their throat slit with a hacksaw, then sure, you have a serial killer. But that was all random and just in the moment. Mm-hmm. Although I guess so was the Night Stalker.
Yeah.
A lot of his was just crazy. He shot a lot of people too, though.
I don't know, but see, when people say killing spree, it's usually I guess I haven't heard of a lot of them, but it sounds about right to me that a killing spree is inspired by a lot of rage and confusion and chaos and stuff. And I very often off the top of my head, it sounds ends in people committing suicide or turning themselves in or something once everything's calmed down.
I wrote it down, the assassination of Gianni Versace, because now I kind of want to watch it. I don't give a shit about Versace. Sucks that he was murdered. Didn't know anything about him at all.
Same.
Don't care.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to see how much of this show is going to be about Andrew and his misdoings.
So just based off of what I read, Gianni Versace was a gay man. He had a long-term, like, serious relationship boyfriend at the time, but what does that really mean? Like, anybody, like, open relationships are a thing and have been for a really long time. So based off of the book and based off of the fact that he went to his house and killed him after killing 4 other people, he definitely, like, almost for sure knew, except for the cemetery guy.
Yeah, poor cemetery man.
Poor William Reese. Just really seems like maybe there was some kind of history. I do also think it's still possible that he believed he had HIV and just never got checked out, maybe because he was embarrassed or upset or something like that, which might explain the hydrocortisone cream. Maybe he, I don't know, was experiencing some symptoms and I don't know what the symptoms of AIDS are, but like maybe he was getting rashes or hives or inflammation or whatever, and he just assumed he must have HIV. I have no idea. It's so wild to me. This is a really strange reaction, but that's another thing. Like, he worked freelance, so he didn't have medical coverage. And if he was maxed out on all of his credit cards and didn't have anyone providing him income anymore, maybe that's why he didn't go to the doctor's office to get checked out. And just, I don't know, he was not obviously mentally unwell, but, well, yeah, actually, after all of this, yeah. At the time, though, before 5 murders, it really didn't seem like he was this crazy
except that
murderer.
He was like a diagnosed sociopath.
I know, but he was so young, and then there was just no word of that for a really long time. Except for, like, maybe the violent pornography, but people do that all the time, too, and they're not always sociopaths.
That's not necessarily, like, damning.
That's what I'm saying. So. Like, it sounded like a bunch of his friends thought he was fairly normal. And then this happened.
And then the slaughter began.
Yeah.
Good Lord. Well, that's insanely interesting. Mm-hmm. I had no idea that so much shit went down. I never knew how Gianni Versace died. I didn't know a lot about Versace, period. Like, even the brand or who is even running it right now. Like, I know he has a sister, I think, but I read that this guy had killed Gianni Versace and didn't expect to find 4 murders before that, to actually find like a murder spree. And that's what this led into. So I was like, ooh. Wild.
Like a terrible thing, but I'm going to take this to the podcast and I'm going to share it.
Well, thanks.
You're welcome.
Thanks. That was a wild ride. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But not as wild as this wheel spin. If you could kill any mythological creature in the world, which would you make boots out of? You get to kill a mythological creature and turn its skin into boots.
A unicorn.
You're going to make unicorn boots?
Yeah, because I feel like it would be like just inherently enchanted. They'd be magic boots somehow. Like they'd make me faster or like able to fly or something. Or walk on water, maybe.
Okay.
Or walk through fire or something crazy like that.
I'm killing mermaids.
You're going to have mermaid boots?
Mermaid boots. I'm going to use their tails. They have like snake skin boots.
Yeah.
With like the scales on them.
Yeah.
I'm going to do mermaid tail boots.
Cool. They're going to be so shiny.
Uh-huh.
So glittery.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I feel like that would be a whole thing. You can style it all sorts of ways.
What kind of boots do you think? Just like cowboy boots?
Cowboy, maybe I'd make bags, purses, totes.
Matching accessories?
Yeah. Maybe some earrings.
Would you make it like a matching pair for Dani?
Probably. Uh-huh. Maybe like a headband. To hold, push your hair up.
Mermaid skin headband.
Uh-huh.
Wow. Okay. I imagine my unicorn boots would be, obviously super stylish and awesome, whatever that means, that I would know. But they would probably let me walk through like walls or something, some shit like that. That's what I'm most excited about.
I think you're overthinking the magic ability of these. I think they would have some ability, yes. Like TSA wouldn't make you take your shoes off,
Like they just wouldn't find my shoes very suspicious.
They would just be like, you go on through,
Those are so fabulous.
They look down and they're like, damn, you go on,
Okay.
I can see that. But you're not walking through. You're not flying with these boots.
No, you don't know that though. I absolutely could be.
My mermaid boots don't make you swim better.
Based off of Harry Potter, their blood makes you immortal. So the boots, like, I'm getting something fucking dope.
You brought up a great point that pissed me off. Why the fuck in the Harry Potter game can you not kill and drink from unicorns?
I don't know, dude. I tried. Anyway, I just thought it'd be a nice little touch, just like a quick little, add-on, that the boots would be really tall, like maybe they'd be thigh-high boots, and all the way down the back, there would be like the unicorn's mane, like the hair going all the way down.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the tip of the boot is a horn.
Like a narwhal. I didn't really think about that
Well,
one.
a unicorn's got a horn.
I know, but I can't. There's 2 boots and there's only 1 horn.
So you got to kill 2 unicorns to make a pair of boots.
1 for each boot.
That's why they're so valuable.
Wow. Nah.
No?
No, I don't want to have to worry about like tripping or hurting anybody.
Do you think if you buy a pair of boots, you get a horn?
Yeah.
Or do you think you sell the horns separately?
If I were,
You make headbands with the horns.
that doesn't make sense.
Those are like
you put the horn on the headband.
you make $4,000 headbands.
That's kind of cool. Okay.
I'm game.
You could play like ring toss.
Ring
With
toss.
it.
With your unicorn horn headband.
Yeah.
Ah.
But it would be a magical one. So maybe not the ring toss though, because you'd be doing way cooler things.
Maybe you would like hula hoop with it,
magically though. Somehow.
Of course.
Well, anyway, we should wrap it up.
Yes, we should. If you liked what you heard, please like, rate, subscribe, and share this podcast. You can share this podcast with anyone who's like kind of weirdly obsessed with mythological creatures and like old religions.
Anyone who's read Harry Potter or heard of Harry Potter, anyone who hates Harry Potter or loves it. I mean, either one is fine with me. Anyone who has heard of Versace or loves fashion or hates fashion or has heard of fashion.
Yeah, you know Brazilian? Maybe you know someone who gets a Brazilian wax. They would love this podcast. Tell them about it.
Anyone who appreciates a good Brazilian wax. Why don't you let them know about this podcast?
I appreciate a good Brazilian wax. You know what I
Same.
mean?
Yeah, I do. Mm-hmm. I like being smooth as a baby seal.
Oh, I don't get them. I just like them in my life.
Right.
Dani gets them. She'll never listen. I don't care. Please visit our website, 3shotsin.com.
Once you get to our website, you will find a link to our PayPal single time donation, and you could just drop a cool hundo there.
Yeah.
A G, whatever you want, honestly. It's totally casual and there's no obligation to you at all. You could also find a link to our Patreon page.
That's right. Where for only $5 a month, you get so much more access to us.
Yes, patreon.com/3shotsin. And once you get there, you get so much bang for your buck. I think most of you watching would be interested in listening to our super exclusive patron-only podcast.
That's
3
right.
Shot Cinema.
3-Shot Cinema. So far, we've done a lot of horror movies.
Oh, yeah.
Probably continue the trend. It's our favorite type of movie.
Right.
The next one, though, we don't know. We don't know what we're watching next.
Yes, we do.
Oh, fuck me.
Yeah.
It's fucking Evil Dead Rise.
You thought you could get out of it, but
I
you
forgot.
can't because I have you on record saying that you're going to go with me opening night to watch it.
Not opening night. We're busy, but opening week for sure.
Okay.
Anyway, next week, you know what we're talking about?
What?
You know how you said, like, fuck you for picking the topic without talking to me?
I didn't actually say that.
Yeah, you did.
No,
And then guess what?
I said fuck you for making me sick.
I did it again.
Okay.
Lifestyle.
Oh, cool. Did you think
So-
I'd be upset? You sounded like you did. I don't care.
Oh, I also don't care. That's why I just chose.
Okay.
Mainly because fuck you, horse. Lifestyle. That can be a fucking Wolftharians
Ooh, fun. I don't.
or
that'd be
or
fun.
or nudists, you know?
Yeah, sure.
There's so many weird fucking people in this world that live a very specific lifestyle that we can talk about.
Yeah. You know, we have not delved into what's going on in the crinkling world nowadays.
No, the
world-
furry world.
The furry world, the
It's obscure.
the crinklers. We don't know what they're up to.
They could be doing so many things. We'll find out next week. Thank you all for listening. We love you. We love our patrons a lot more actually, but we still love you anyway.
Yes. Thank you just for listening. Thank you to those of you who do a lot more than that. And we'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Later. I'm sorry. Fuck you for doing this to me. So,
I didn't do shit.
yes, you did. Just being near me.
I didn't do fucking shit.
I didn't do this. I'm not worried
I'm not
about it.
worried about it.